It's been a very long time since we heard any news about explorers, and right now I'm kind of a bit concerned about what is exactly going on with that level, because that was supposed to be an official main level to come out alongside Dash with 2.2. However, that level didn't really make it and was delayed to after 2.2. And today I kind of want to analyze how long it took Robtop to make Dash and how long it usually takes him to build a main level, and perhaps come up with an idea of how long approximately it may take him to finish Explorers with its current state. Now, Explorers was actually supposed to come out in 2.2, but then Robtop said, nah, it's going to be delayed to 2.21. However, then he even said that it's actually not going to be in 2.21. However, one thing I always like to say is that you guys already see how Robtop really changes his mind every now and then, so even though he said it's not going to be in 2.21, that really doesn't mean anything, to be honest, because it could still come out with 2.21. We still have like no idea, so that statement basically has no meaning. But with that being said, I guess let's just jump in and see what have we gotten from Explorers so far and what is still remaining, because when 2.2 got released, the song leak of Explorers was alongside it, and what that means is that every time Robtop decides to add a new main level, he of course has to choose a song. For example, Stereo Madness has a song which is, I believe, like 3 minutes long. However, Robtop makes his cuts for the song, so he takes out the parts that he doesn't want of the song and then makes it kind of like a short version of the song, which is usually 1.5 minutes long. So it basically takes out about 50% of the song, and Explorers is a song that is like 5 minutes or so. So of course the level is not going to be 5 minutes, but the cut that was made in 2.2 that was leaked is actually 2 minutes long, which makes it the longest Geometry Dash level ever. However, one thing you have to note is that everything we're going to say in this video might be changed. So the fact that, you know, the song leak of Explorers a year ago was 2 minutes, Robtop could potentially change his mind and cut off another 30 seconds, and then we would end up with 1:50, because the stuff that we are going to be talking about is all unreleased stuff, so it could change at any point in time. So it is very important to note that at first. But let's actually take a look at Explorers and see how far it is. So I actually was a beta tester for Explorers, as you guys can see, but the level for some reason is empty. Okay, it's enough with the joke. So back in 2022, that's like 2 years ago and a few months, because this was released on September. So 3 years ago, this is how Explorers looked like, and this is something that we have seen being recreated in 2.2's editor. And of course, the effects and all is all crazy and stuff, but what is really crazy is the upcoming part over here, which I truly believe was the part that took the longest to make and come up with the ideas. And yeah, it came out with a lot of criticisms from the community, which is honestly kind of reasonable. I do agree that that level needs a lot of improvements, but yeah, until here. And yeah, the boss fight, we can see like a frame of it, and then the sneak peek ended. Now, from what we can see is that the level is about pretty much half a minute of the level is done. And if we take a look at the Dash sneak peek, we can see that the sneak peek lasted for about 26 seconds, so also about a half a minute. However, Explorers actually was a few seconds more. So now you may say, well, Robtop had 2 years, so he must be finished now with the level. But that doesn't really make that much sense, because Robtop is not solely working on this level. This is not the only thing that he's doing. He got like a ton of stuff that he's doing as well. So you also have to take into account that he's the person that is basically hosting most of the major events that are happening in the GD community, you know, providing us with updates and all these things. So for us to say that he had 2 years to build on this level so far is a major overestimation, I would say, because I believe he's a person that is working on this level on and off, so he doesn't really get tired with it. But what we know is that he already started working on improving this level, because he said he wants to change a lot of the gameplay elements in it. And to be completely honest, now I think it's been enough time for him to have completely changed changed the gameplay from what it used to be 2 years ago. However, what you have to also take into account is that this level has had hype ever since like 2018 or so. So the hype that is coming with this level is massive. This is probably the most hyped up main level ever. So you guys also seen that there is a boss fight. So it is very important to not take things too lightly, right? Making a boss fight with an update that has 7 years worth of content is not an easy task. So I believe that the boss fight on his own is probably gonna take him a few months to completely finish and make it very playable. Now, a person like a normal Geometry Dash creator would also spend a few months working on a boss fight, but RobTop also has a lot of different stuff to work on, so I wouldn't really be surprised if we calculate by RobTop time that it takes him about a year to finish the boss fight, because the boss fight, I think what the boss fight is going to be is that it's going to attack you, and then it's going to go away, and then it's going to come back. This is basically how every boss fight works, unless RobTop has some excellent ideas that he has been cooking up. That would also be interesting, but I would say about a year, let's say a year to finish the boss fight, I think is realistic in the RobTop time. And you know, let's say that he already finished all of this stuff, and now from here on we want to add another year for the boss fight, and then there's also these extra parts that are in between these, you know, pre-drop type stuff, because there's a second drop. So all this stuff and coming up with ideas is also going to take him a long time, because we have seen that RobTop is a person that likes the main levels to be perfect. We have seen this with Deadlocked, Finger Dash, and also Dash. So he really spends a lot of time coming up with ideas that fit the level, and I'm very sure that a lot of the main levels that we have right now have had countless ideas that were in the end not implemented into the main level because they weren't perfect. So what I want to say here is that RobTop probably takes a very long time to come up with the perfect idea, even though it may take like pretty much months. So just to come up with an idea, because the main level should be perfect. And what's scary about the main level being perfect, especially nowadays, is yeah, it's this guy. What is this? So the biggest problem with Explorers now is that Explorers is a level that is going to be made in update 2.2. However, update 2.2, we already have that update. So whatever RobTop is doing, we could do it as well, which means it is very difficult for RobTop to come up with ideas that are very original. It is a huge challenge, because back in 2.1, when we were sitting in 2.1, we had very limited features, and when RobTop came out with Dash, we were very hyped up, because he basically has like a cheat mode where he could basically use things that we cannot use, which basically adds a lot of value into that level. And now seeing that Explorers is gonna be, you know, made with the same update that we have right now, it's very scary, because, well, you gave this update to millions of people and all of them are implementing their insane ideas, so you're gonna have to compete against them, which is a practical impossibility, I'm not gonna lie. Especially when you're trying to impress those people, it is gonna be very difficult, because the stuff that we have seen it's just mind-blowing, like, I must say. So I guess maybe, you know, publishing the update 2.2 without Explorers was a mistake, but then the release date was already set, and you can't just rush Explorers ASAP and get a weird version of it out and, you know, just hope for the best. That doesn't really work. So what exactly is going on, and how long is this level gonna take to be completely finished and published and playable in the full version of Geometry Dash as a main level? I think that by looking at the criticisms that RobTop has gotten from Dash as a main level of 2.2, I think he's gonna have to be extra careful about how he finishes up this level and how he adds every single small detail. So Explorer's situation is a very, very difficult one, and it is very complicated, and to estimate exactly when Explorers is gonna come out is not really that smart because it is impossible. But the estimation that I would have according to how long RobTop takes to build a main level, what we've seen from Dash, what we've seen from the other main levels, and all of that put into conclusion, I would say Explorers might come out in late 2025. Now, this sounds absolutely ridiculous and all, but remember, 2025 is only a year away from us, exactly the same time that 2.2's release date is behind us. So yeah, it kind of feels like 2.2 released yesterday, but that was a year ago. So I guess you guys can understand where I'm going with this. So maybe early 2026 sounds insane, but trust me, tomorrow we're gonna be in 2025 already. So yeah, let me know when you guys think Explorers is gonna come out, and how cool is that level gonna be, because I'm very excited for that level. I don't want to put too much hype because the pressure on Rob for that specific level must be crazy, I must say. So yeah, that's it. Make sure to slap that like, subscribe, make sure to watch one of the videos that is on the screen right now. I'll see you. Bye.